uh, um, Joshua Betancourt. Thanks for tuning into the channel and for checking out the video. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to put together a quick video for y'all. It's been a little while since I've posted anything new. My kids are with me, and I was dedicating some time to them. Um, so yeah, it's been good. They're usually here every other week, but it's been 3 weeks since I've seen them. So, uh, so yeah, I kind of spent the last couple of days just focusing on them and spending time with them, and we did a couple of things. One, we've been reading out of The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and if you haven't read that, check that out. It's amazing. And then we also today watched The Life of Pi and had a discussion about it afterwards, which was super, super powerful. It just is a really good film to kind of bring the attention to, some of the beauty that is within this experience, right? And the fragility of life, and how all sentient beings deserve an opportunity to live, and the struggle for survival, and all of those kind of deep conversations. And you can imagine, right, the questions that came up. But yeah, it's been pretty good. So I haven't posted in a while, and yeah, I wanted to get together with you guys to talk about a few different topics that were important to me. So, the first was kind of this idea of, what it is that we are. And it's kind of been in my head for a little while, wanting to talk a little bit about this because I had this kind of interesting experience. I guess it was a week and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer, but I had this like overwhelming kind of thought related to mortality and all of the upheaval and things that are happening in the world right now. So it was just a strange thought about how everything changes, and the nature of energy just always changes form, and it never dissolves. It just moves from one form to the other. And as I was thinking all of this, there was kind of this overwhelming sense of peace related to kind of just this I don't know, this idea that, there's nothing to worry about, in the sense that, everything's going to work out, things are going to be okay. And, mortality is not necessarily something to fear, but, something to use as a teacher and a guide to help you with kind of appreciating the moments and the relationships and the life that you have. And it was beautiful. So there was like this, I don't know, I felt like this, when it came over me, I felt this disconnect from my physical form, and I felt like that my consciousness was more embodied in kind of the formless aspect of what it is that I am. So because of that, I wanted to talk a little bit about what compromises, or what is a human being composed of. So when we think about what we are, we obviously normally just think about the tangible physical expression of life, right? It's my hands, my feet, my thoughts, how I define myself, my possessions, my education, and kind of all of those intangibles as well. So I call that the external expression, the physical expression. But so that's the physical aspect of who we are. And then the second component of that is, I think, the mental, right? The mental body that we carry, and really that aspect of us is constantly kind of, some would say, call it the egoic mind, right? But it's that part of us that's always thinking. It's always kind of that internal dialogue related to the beliefs that we have, and the personality that we've created, and the expression that we are kind of mentally, and how we're taking in things. So there's that mental aspect of who it is that we are. And then there's this emotional component to us, right? There's this the emotional body, which is the intangible sense of the feelings and the feeling response that we're having to the experience that we're living through. And it comes with like deep joys, and deep fear, deep pain, right? I mean, we're all over the spectrum, from an emotional standpoint. I read somewhere in the neighborhood there's like 30,000 different emotions that a human being can feel, in an article somewhere. So there's just this huge spectrum of emotions that are also part of this experience. And then I guess the final piece of it would be the spiritual aspect, right? This the a higher power, or whatever, however it is that your faith drives you to believe what that is all about. But I think it's important to really take a look at all of the different layers of what it means to be alive and what it means to be in this form, because if there's one component of that is out of balance, right, then that spills over into all of the rest of the areas. And the reason why I say that is because I'm working with a few people, and part of that interaction is really taking a look holistically at what's happening in those different areas, so that as you bring balance, you bring coherence to that, people find that they're better prepared to kind of make adjustments and have a higher quality experience of life. So I wanted to illustrate that, and just make it food for thought and a pointer, right? If there's areas where kind of you think you can make some improvements, then do, and take a look at it holistically and see how it impacts the other aspects of everything that comprises you as a human being, as a sentient being. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, I guess, was what is it that we choose to express? What is it that we who is actually responsible for making the decisions of the expression that we are, right? And the reason why I say this is because in having a few conversations recently, I've noticed that often we have a tendency to think that the world is doing this to me, or this person is doing this, or I'm experiencing this this experience externally, and in doing so, sometimes we relinquish our power to be in the driver's seat of our own lives, right? We feel that we're subject to the whims of the universe, right, and to the whims of life, or the whims of God, or whatever, however you define that. And I almost wanted to challenge everyone in the idea of I firmly believe that the world is a reflection of who we are, right? And if we resonate at a particular frequency, if we carry a particular thought, right, if we continue to make particular decisions, then the outcome is going to be naturally based on kind of that internal representation of who we are, and we're going to see that experienced in our physical form, in the external form, right? So if you choose to drink, right, then you're going to get drunk, right? If you choose to kind of go to church regularly, then you're going to find yourself in a space of faith. So I think that that there's great power in that. That there's this amazing power in our ability to kind of direct our lives and take ownership of our lives in that way. So I would challenge you all. There's this really cool story of one of my, he was my old accountant. His name was Burton Gruber. Amazing man. And he was the kind of person that you'd, walk into the room and he would have this twinkle in his eye and this smirk on his face, right? Like you two were sharing a secret that only you two knew about. And it was just a really warm feeling to be around Burton. It was the makeup of who he was, right? It was like his decision of how he wanted to experience life and interact with other people, and it was just beautiful. It was amazing. And so in doing that and kind of thinking about that, I thought I would challenge each of you to be some type of beautiful expression to the other people in your life, right? Whether that's just trying to make someone laugh by being funny, or letting people know that you love them, or doing something kind for someone else without them knowing about it, right? It just anything that you can do to be an expression of joy and beauty and love and positivity, I would challenge you to do that. That was really what the second piece of it was all about. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to share those thoughts and those ideas, and hopefully be a beacon of light for anyone. As usual, hit me up if there's any questions, or if there's anything that you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know. I am deeply grateful for your time, and I wish you all the absolute very best. I hope that you and your families are safe during these times. Keep your head up, stay positive, and until we talk again. All right, take care.